Hello and good morning, everyone. It is 5:45 on Monday, September the 14th, and it is almost daybreak here in Dauphin Island, Alabama. I'm trying to be a little quiet because the kids are still asleep, but I'm going to show just a couple of quick graphics, and as the sun comes up, I'm going to run outside and show you where the water is. I haven't even seen it yet because it's still dark, but what you're looking at is the current track and the current Doppler radar for Tropical Storm and soon-to-be Hurricane Sally. Again, we are where the green dot is located, right offshore of coastal Alabama, a couple miles into the Gulf of Mexico on a small island called Dauphin Island. So I'll zoom in real quick if I can here. And you can see that these outer feeder bands are really close now at this point. So the wind outside is definitely howling. It's been howling all night. It woke me up a couple times throughout the night. So high tide today, by the way, is at around 8 o'clock this morning. So I look forward to going outside and seeing how high the water is. So I put this radar into motion here, and you can see that these feeder bands are coming real close to us. Big shout out this morning to Victoria Hendricks that left a message here. Another shout out to Teddy that's been commenting out there as well. Mike Etter in Mississippi, Google Master in Trinidad and Tobago, Amy Schneider out there that's been commenting as well. So the current track is now, again, it's shifted east towards us. So this is going to be a really interesting couple of days starting today. So I look forward to doing it. Again, this storm is now forecasted to come on shore about in this direction. So the right front quadrant would be in this neck of the woods. So Mike Etter out there, you look like you're going to get direct impacts. Here it looks like we'll get direct impacts. We are already under a tropical storm warning, as well as a hurricane watch, as well as a storm surge warning. So what I'll do is I'm going to jump right over to spaghettimodels.com and see if I can just go through some quick graphics before I run outside. So let me jump over there. Oh, sorry, I should have had this prepared, but it's early. Hey, I gotta figure it out at some point, right? Let's go here. All right, so this is the current Gfs Model Loop. I'll go ahead and run it. And this is the forecasted track, one of the major models that we like a lot. So if you look at this center of circulation here, it is... Come on, run the loop. It's kind of a long loop here. I think it's a 36-hour loop. But the center of circulation is forecasted on the GFS to come on shore right here in this area. Let me see if I can go back. There you go. So there you see the center of circulation is coming ashore right above us. I meant to go to spaghettimodels.com, so let me go back there. Blah, 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 blah. Jeez, I feel like an idiot. Here we go. All right, coming up. I'm sorry, I should have prepared that earlier, but it's early. I won't do it again, I promise. All right, so here's the latest forecasted track from the National Hurricane Center for Sally. Again, you see where we are just off to the eastern side of the forecasted track. You see the red. So they actually have us at the National Hurricane Center under a hurricane warning and a storm surge warning. So it is currently, again, almost 6 a.m., and you can see that still at 1 o'clock a.m. tomorrow, this storm is still offshore. It's not until 1 p.m. Tuesday, which is tomorrow afternoon, that it's not supposed to get really terribly intense, but it sounds angry outside currently. Currently, the movement has slowed down a bit. It moved up to about 12 miles an hour to the west yesterday, and it's slowed down to moving west-northwest at 9 miles per hour. Hence why, again, I mentioned yesterday that the forecasted cone shifted back east. This is the current hurricane and tropical storm force wind probabilities. Again, let's see if I can go kind of notate where I am here, but I am right offshore in this area, and now we are in the thick of 90-mile-an-hour plus winds. You can see that on the bottom of the screen, which would be right here. So we're forecasted to get 90-mile-an-hour winds for a couple of days, a day and a half, on top of a couple of high tide cycles. So the problem is when we have onshore flow pushing into the east, from the east rather, the storm surge potential is quite intense. So again, this is going to be a really rough go for anybody in low-lying coastal areas, especially, say, west end of Dauphin Island, coastal Mississippi, into New Orleans especially. Look out even in Gulf Shores, Alabama, and Pensacola, Alabama. This graphic here to the right shows tropical storm force winds and when we can expect them here. So it shows Monday at 8, and I can hear them outside. I know it's howling out there. Monday at 8, which is a couple hours away, we'll start getting tropical force winds. I'm going to walk out in a minute, and they're already there, I can assure you, because I can feel my house moving. So that's right on target. So I'll jump outside in a minute. This is the rainfall forecast here. Now you can see we're in the dark purple, which is upwards potentially of 20 inches of rain. So that's really, 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 really impactful. If we get what they're forecasting, 7 to 11 feet of storm surge, then there will be a sight to see in my backyard, because we will be just well underwater. On the right-hand side, that is a flash flood chart. So we are under this deep purple, which is an extreme risk of life endangering storm surge. So we are right here in the mix of it. And the last two graphics I want to show you are some of the spaghetti models. Just for time constraints, I'll go ahead and go down to the Canadian model, the Gfs, the Icon model, and all of them are basically in a sense together. This is the ensemble, meaning all of those tracks kind of run together. It's still very it's close to shore, so it doesn't have much time to move. So it has zeroed in on landfall, Alabama, Mississippi border, right where Mike is in the Gulfport, coastal Mississippi, Biloxi area. So it's going to be a day to remember here, and I'm happy that you're here, and I'll do my best to stay active in it. I do have to go get a car charger. I forgot to get one because the power will go out. It's not a matter of if, it's just when. So I'll have to get a car charger so I can keep these going. But again, we are right in that right front quadrant right there. So that's just the latest models. I won't probably show those again because it doesn't have much time to move. The intensity models, if you can follow me on this, this is computer models of how strong that these models think it will get. All of them indicate category 1 at this point. One model has it coming ashore as a category 2. Again, it really doesn't matter at this point. It's a few miles an hour of wind doesn't make or break anything. That's just something for the history books. But the storm surge, 15-20 inches of rain, 7 to 11 feet of storm surge across multiple high tide cycles is absolutely insane. So again, I'm going to run outside here in a moment and we'll take a look. I'm just going to pull up real quickly the infrared radar with vapor so we can take a look at how this storm is progressing in terms of a kind of a satellite view. So you see, again, I am right here, how close those outer feeder bands are. They're knocking on the door, guys. So I'm going to walk outside and see if I can get some daylight. It's still dark, and see if I can put something together for you guys for the end of this first video. All right, thanks. Oh, by the way, the pressure held steady overnight at 996 millibars. Again, this is getting into the really shallow waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Where I live, it stays about 100 feet of water well offshore. And even much shallower than that as you come in. It doesn't drop off to about 1,000, 1,500 feet until way offshore. So there's a lot of room to move, and especially because it's moving slow. But I'm going to shoot outside and see what we can get into. All right. Here's just a quick look at sunrise. I don't know if you can hear me. I am on my second floor. It's still a little dark to go downstairs. The water has already come up into the yard. It's going blurry on me. See, this is what happens. I use my cell phone, and my cell phone doesn't do well in the dark. So I'll go, oh man, my siding just came off. I don't know if you can see that, but my siding just came off. So I'll go downstairs here momentarily when the light gets more easy or more clear for me to see. But the wind is howling and my siding is flapping. All right, so I'm going to walk downstairs in just a minute, but you can definitely see where the water's coming up in the yard. All right, here we go, everyone. As soon as I get done filming this video down here, I am going to be going to the beach side to a friend of mine's house to see if we can get there. So let me walk out. Here we go. So again, this bulkhead is usually 2 feet out of water at high tide and maybe 3.5 feet out of the water at low tide. And high tide is about 8 a.m. So it is gusting right now, gusting. Probably 30 mile an hour winds, 25, 30 mile an hour winds. It's a beautiful day, it looks like over here, but that is not going to be the case, and that is for sure. This is going to be a very interesting couple of days. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this video together, download it. There's my trusty weather tree. Shout out to Google Master. He knows about my trusty weather tree. So I would say currently about 25, 30, maybe 35 mile an hour. 35 mile an hour gusts, maybe 25 sustained. But you know, you see these lovely blue skies and you think, you know, geez, how could it get so bad? I can still see the moon up there. But just to my south, guys, it's not a pretty sight. So I've got water coming well into the yard now. It's grown on me just since I've walked out here and started this video. But there's the bulkhead. I've already got water well into my yard, and this hasn't even started yet. Look, I've got small waves that ants could ride. I've got an ant break in my yard. If you're a surfing ant, you're ripping it up in my yard. So check that out. So this is going to be an interesting day, really interesting day. Excited about it. Let's go. Come on. So guys, yeah, I'm gonna put this video together, and I'm gonna go to the beach side because eventually they'll close it off. So I'm gonna drag my wife out, and we're gonna go see what this storm has to offer. So again, here's one of my weather trees. I'll walk around my yard real quick for you. That's one of our neighbor's weather trees. This is another one of our trees. The water will come all the way up here, and this is our car. So that car, I'm gonna have to move to higher ground. This is another weather tree. You can see how gusty it is right now. And my house is up there. So really gusty day, Trusty weather tree is doing pretty well. Put everything under the house, all my chairs. I got weights on the carpet. Ooh, that's a good gust right there. Wow, woo, look at that. And guys, this hasn't even started yet. Look at the water, it's even further in my yard. Look at that, this is my yard. Anyway, guys, be safe, much love. This is gonna be an interesting day, and this hasn't even started yet. Wait until I get up tomorrow. Oh man, this is already in my yard. Wow. Usually this doesn't happen till like before landfall, but this thing is still ways out there. Oh my, see the clouds rolling in. That's my east, by the way, so that's Florida and Baldwin County, Alabama. That's the Gulf of Mexico that way. And through my house where I just was is the Mississippi area, and that's my north to Mobile, Alabama. Guys, the skies to my south. Feeder bands are coming. All right, see you guys soon.